Hiya folks, how's it going? I'm Lexi and I really like tabletop games. So much so that we review one here together once a week, every week on the gaming table. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to hit subscribe and keep watching today's video. Today we are taking a look at a game I picked up a long time ago from my local gaming store, and it was like on ridiculous clearance, so I kind of impulse bought it. This game uses the Forged in the Dark system from Blades in the Dark, and a setting from Genesis of Legend. From Genesis of Legend, this is Sig, the City of Blades. This game utilizes a setting from another Legend of Genesis game. The game is Sig, Manual of Primes. Sig is a planar fantasy world. The cosmic meets fantasy. The city of Sig floats in a fixed spot in time and place. In the city of Sig, everything is controlled by different factions. The players are freebooters who work for a particular faction trying to gain more of the city's territory for them. Gods, corruption, and turf wars fill this city. There are 5 factions that the player characters can be from together. Glimmer Knights, who are sort of armoured guards for a diplomatic guild. The Order of the Ashen Keys, who are occult scholars. The Daughters of Raven, who are messengers and smugglers. The Reforged Blades, former revolutionaries, who are now professional recyclers. And the Striders, who explore different planes for the Portal Smith. You don't get a full write-up of the districts that you can claim in SIG, which feels a little bit disappointing. You get a write-up of the other factions and what territories they control, but 1 or 2 sentences about the districts you can claim in the game would have been helpful, I think. You do get a pretty decent write-up of the different planes that revolve around SIG, which feels a little bit counterintuitive. The game's about the city, and you don't really need to, it seems, explore these planes for much of the in-game material. Which is a bit of a shame, because all of those planes sound super interesting and makes me want to play a game in there rather than in the city. Sig, the City of Blades, uses the Forged in the Dark system from Blades in the Dark. The system originated from Evil Hat Productions, but has been pretty popular and successful outside of that game. This game uses pools of d6s for most of your actions. Most of the game, you'll be rolling your pools of d6s and counting how many successes you have. 6s are successes without conditions, 4 to 5 with some sort of payment required, and 3 and below is an outright failure. If you want to, your characters can take on stress to try get more successes. This game is about taking things. You can engage with a heist to take important objects, go on daring missions to gain infamy, or even make direct moves to take enemy turf. To perform a mission, you decide what you're after, how you're going to take it, and then you execute the mission. To plan a mission, you decide what you're after, how you're going to take it, how much equipment you're going to be needing, what a potential negative and positive impact of this mission would be, and lastly, what dangers the mission presents to the characters themselves. I do like that this manual has the players establish the clocks for the mission instead of the game master. The clocks are one of my favorite things about the Forged in the Dark system, so I'm glad they're here as well. Most of the mission is dealt with by using engagement rolls or using a flashback, so you don't really have to intricately plan out what you're going to do. Depending on the outcome of this mission, the players can engage in a variety of activities afterwards, though not all of these activities are mechanically created equally. This game jettisons playbooks and instead uses a layered character building approach. You pick a lineage, a culture, and a devotion. This is how you were raised, your ancestry, and what you believe in now. You then get to allocate dots to your action slots. Some of these dots will get automatically filled in from your lineage, ancestry, and devotion, and some of them are a loose pool you get at the end of character creation to divvy up as you please. You also get to pick a few advances which might fill out your backstory and give you a few advantages in game. Basically, the more dots you have filled in on a particular attribute, the more dice you get in your pool. You also need to work out how each of your freebooter characters feels about one another. Then your freebooter needs to choose 2 planes that they are particularly aligned to. You then name your character and give them a motivation for their choices. I think the layered character building approach is a bit more interesting than the playbook option, though the playbook option is probably the easiest one to just jump in and play. You do get some great options with SIG which are only possible by this method. I think SIG City of Blades is an interesting game. I do see some things I would like a lot more detail on to run this game. If you're already familiar with the Forged in the Dark system, you probably would be able to use this manual alright. I do kind of wish the Forged in the Dark mechanics were reflavored a bit more to be based around the setting. Most of the game it feels like you're going to be going out and doing heists to advance your own faction, which is similar to what Blades in the Dark did. There's a lot of fantastical planes that you can explore, and it feels like the game wants me to explore them, but also it doesn't, and this game is meant to be solely set in the city. Especially since you're trying to take turf from other factions that's located in the city. I think if you're into planar fantasy, this game might appeal, though the fact that it doesn't seem to want us to explore those different planes might be a bit of a drawback. I would not recommend this game if you're not already familiar with the Forged in the Dark system. I just didn't find the way this particular game manual explained it to be particularly clear. SIG City of Blades is available for $60 US. I'm a bit mixed on this one, so I'm glad I picked it up on sale. Well, thank you for listening to my thoughts on this game. What do you think? Do you have a favorite example of planar fantasy? Feel free to let me know what it is in the comments down below. I don't know much about planar fantasy myself. While you're down there in the comments, I encourage you to like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications to find out when I've next uploaded. Perhaps you could even share this video with a friend. It all helps this channel get more notice. I also have a Ko-Fi page where you can donate to this channel to help keep it going, or you can just support it by watching and sharing. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!